we would like to attend the city council work session. Council can have a chance to review his application, talk to him.
Thank you. Hey, library report, Miss Pina.
Oh, that was so fast tonight. I want to thank you for the very nice post that was put on social media recognizing the library during National Library Week. That was very nice. I appreciate you as well. You're welcome. And we have a lot of events coming up because we're gearing up for our busy season. So April actually is the start of that for us because it's finalizing all of the plans for summer reading, which starts in May and ends in July, right before the kids go back to school. So most of our plans have been finalized. We're excited that summer reading is available to everyone, students, teens, young adults, and adults. So we welcome everybody to come to the library. On May, the kickoff party for that is Friday, May 22nd, which is right after school gets out. You can come sign up for summer reading and earn free books all summer long for reading. We have great prizes. In April, we have our homeschool curriculum swap. And the reason I wanted to highlight that is because they're going to do a trunk swap after the book swap inside the library with larger items in the grassy area next to the library. So I told them our policy about making sure their children are supervised in that area. And I didn't add that I will be out there as well, but I will be out there as well, making sure that the children don't go into the parking lot area. And then they're going to follow up by ending that at the new park. They're going to meet and have a gathering there. And we're expecting probably somewhere between 10 and 20 families for that event. Maybe more, but we're pretty sure there'll be at least 10 to 20 families there. Our teen advisory board is going amazing. And I'm grateful to Councilwoman Pilgrim for getting our last teen advisory board meeting in April sponsored through Stevie's Lunchbox. I will gladly support them and try to fill them to everybody because the sandwiches they provided were delicious. It was wonderful. And they even made enough for my staff to be able to enjoy those as well, because we did have plenty of leftovers. And that was just very sweet. We have a DAR genealogy workshop coming up Saturday, April 25th at 10:30. I will be there that day. Registration is required just due to the limited amounts of computers. The Minecraft block craft event will be Monday, April 27th. That will be really fun. Naomi is leading that as well as she leads the teen advisory board as well. I already mentioned our kickoff for summer reading program. We have Mayor Moncrief's Reading Club on Wednesday, May 27th. So Mayor, please let me know if that date works for you or if I need to reschedule.
Okay.
And our first presentation for the summer reading program will be a dinosaur presentation, since our theme for the whole summer is dinosaurs, Unearth a Story. And Rick Spears is coming, and he said he's going to bring a dinosaur egg. So I'm very curious what that is going to be. But he's done presentations at the Loganville Library for many, many years. And I thought it would be fun to bring him to Walnut Grove so he can cover that theme with us this summer. And then the first performer in May, the big performer, will be Michelle's Magical Poodle Show, May 29th, Friday, May 29th. A lot of our, not all, but a lot of our big performers are coming on Fridays, and they're coming at 11. All of them are coming at 11 a.m. So I'm hoping to get the before lunch, but not during nap time, because our performers are about $400 to $500 each. So I do try to get as many people as possible, since our sponsors, cover that program. And we do have very generous sponsors that cover all of our programs for summer reading. So that's not something that's provided by taxpayer money or through grants or things like that. That comes from our generous community that we live in. And I am so thankful that we can make wonderful things happen. So there'll be a ton more events coming up in June and July as well, but I'll present those next month. And then Naomi made a graphic to promote the Love Our Cities coloring contest. So as those entries are turned in at the library, I will bring them over to City Hall.
Right.
And so Naomi made that, and she does a great job. So I just wanted to share that.
Please thank her.
I will. She's honestly, so there's professionals that don't do the quality of work that Naomi does. Everything I turn into you, other than my report, Naomi has created. So every calendar, every graphic you see in our library, she does that all on her own through a Canva account that the library pays for. So I'm so grateful to have her. Does anybody have any questions for me?
How old are the kids that come to the dinosaur programs?
So all of our programs this summer, because school is out, will be all ages. So we'll have, babies, because they're siblings to the kids, you know, to a lot of the kids that will be there, up through grandparents. And that will be the whole summer for all of our programs. I will say for the big performers, we have about 5 or 6 of them. Those, I let pregnant women know that, you know, come early to get good parking, and that the disabled parking spots do go quickly for those. So I try to get those people to come early and to get a seat and to get good parking. But we'll have approximately, you know, 50 to 150 people come for the programs, the bigger programs like that. The biggest one is the reptile show in June. Jason Clark draws a big crowd.
I think we're gonna have to talk with you about parking issues that we had last year
Okay,
to make sure nobody's parking on the grass, but open up that back area even bigger.
okay. I might have to be out there directing people where to park, because what happened last year was they filled up a certain part of the grass area to where you couldn't get in or out. So I don't, you know, I hate that that happened, but that's what happened last year. And yeah, it was a big problem.
Okay.
So I'll probably have to be out there directing cars where to park this summer, especially for our big performers.
We'll figure something out.
And I always tell people, please park at the church parking lot, because the church gives us permission to use their parking for our big summer programs. So I do try to encourage people to do that.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
great. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dana.
Okay, the next area is public comment. If anybody has a comment that they have registered with city clerk regarding an agenda item, now's the time to come up. Lynn, is anybody registered with you that they want to do a public comment? No? Okay, we will move on. Keeping in mind, folks, that if anybody wants to make a comment during town hall, that's an open time. On to old business, city of civility resolution. I'm assuming this is just enough.
So just as every year to renew the city of civility, it's essentially a pledge by council to be nice to the city administrator. And nice to each other and nice to the citizens. Or don't even have to be nice, just professional. If anyone has any questions on this resolution?
I'll ask if there is a motion to approve the resolution.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2026-03, a resolution of mayor and council pledging to practice and promote civility in the city of Walnut Grove.
A second?
A second.
Any discussion? No? All in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Just brief. Go ahead and move on to the discussion about employers of the employee retirement plan that you all discussed at the last work section.
So since last time we talked, nothing here has changed. Seems like having questions on the retirement proposal.
Anybody excited about the
I
retirement?
am super excited when you're, I think this is fantastic.
Anybody have any questions? Everybody good? We'll go ahead and I'll ask you to entertain a motion to approve retirement plan.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and accept this employee retirement plan as presented.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand. You must have been really good last meeting.
I have nothing to do.
No. Okay, under new business, number one, the donation of service window cleaning at the library. This is similar to when we have somebody come in and do the hanging in the fields. Council has to accept a donation like this. And so, Joe, if you have some information.
So I was contacted by Dana last week about a Vincent and Walnut Grove, who is a patron of the library. After some discussion, I believe, with Councilwoman Pilgrim and Dana and some of the library staff, he had volunteered to clean the windows in the library. And from what was related to me, that's never happened. The whole time the facility has been established, at least the whole was, you could see a lot of they showed me it would be clean on the floor. Some of the considerations with this is in indemnifying the city liability, we will have to sign a form for that. And council accepting the donation of service as a volunteer opportunity instead in lieu of pay. You know, everything right there, Jay? And then I'll draft something up as well as a formal document showing that agreement.
Similar to the hay.
Correct. And one more consideration is he will have to show his insurance line for that liability.
Is he a professional window cleaner?
Yes.
Oh, really? Right. Is he gonna be putting up a sign outside of the building? Saying services provided by?
No, we wouldn't be able to like that.
Okay, okay.
But we can give him a thank you on social media.
Okay. With that being said, is this council want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion to approve the free window cleaning offered by Mr. Moreland.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? And all in favor, please raise your hand. You excited?
Yeah, I think he lives in your neighborhood.
Oh, I don't.
Oh,
I don't know who it is.
I don't know if you know this person or not. I do.
As long as you do.
He was, I mean, it's a free service.
Yeah, it's very,
It's much needed, by the
Yeah.
way.
no, it's great. It's wonderful that he offered.
Yeah, so I am excited.
Good. Okay, update and vote, emergency repair to the surge protector at the sewer plant. Joe is going to give a little bit of an update to tell you what we've been doing. And I declared it an emergency. So go ahead, Joe.
Absolutely. This was an item on my administrative report the last month or two. The surge protector did go out at the sewer plant that protects our sensitive equipment for our pumps, things of that nature, and our lift station is a set of surge protectors. After that surge happened, it was the same time that Walton County as a whole experienced high voltage, where people started having water issues. I believe most people here probably saw their social media posts about that when that happened, right after the cold snap second. So it's been down since then. We've been in contact with Arnold Electric to try to investigate what's going on. Been in contact with Chris from Lakeview Environmental, licensed sewer technician. Between those two, they were able to identify what can go into our equipment there. So one of the issues they found was the surge protector is no longer made. So they could not identify a replacement for it. So a lot of research had to be found between the two of them to find replacement components that can fit our system. After they did that, they finally identified where they could get these parts. They went through Mayer, I believe they pronounced it, through Covington. And once they identified that, they briefed me on the lead time of that. It's about a month to get the parts from North Carolina. Because it's another distribution that has to wait for those parts as well, or manufacture those parts directly. Once we get that, then we'll be able to install those through a coordinated effort with Chris to where we're not running the plant. Chris is there as a advisor to the electrician to make sure nothing is gonna happen with the sewer. It was through my recommendation and with the mayor that this is an emergency. High voltage could damage all the sensitive equipment inside the sewer plant if this is not fixed.
We spoke to Jay about this before making any decisions on this, making declaring it an emergency. And Jay said as a matter of, just doing it the right way, we'll put it on here to let you guys know about what was happening and what happened and what has been purchased. And asking you to vote on this, to approve this formally, for the record of the city. So with that being
So
said,
exactly what are you asking us to vote?
go ahead, Jeff.
It is in the mayor's power in emergency situation to expend the amount of money if it's necessary, which was explained it as. I recommended that it come before council and y'all approve it like any other contract, just so it's crystal clear that the mayor and the council approved.
The mayor,
It's just really protection for Joe and all of that.
Okay, I understand
the
it.
quote is here for the parts, which is under 5,000, but
Okay.
with Arnold Electric's services of getting it installed, it brings it above 5,000. They do not anticipate it going over an additional 2,000, but that's why we wanted to bring it to you
Okay.
guys to make sure you were aware of it.
That's where we're going.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we formally approve this emergency repair to the circuit protector and sewer plant. As presented with quote.
Is there a second? Is
A second.
there any more discussion or?
I do have a question. In a situation like this, is that something, since it was a power surge of sorts, that insurance comes into play? I know in a home situation that would. I don't know if it does in this situation.
Typically, insurance for stuff like this.
We can certainly look into it, Maxine.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is not a huge amount, but if it were much more, that would be
Yes.
much more important to have that information.
Definitely. We can look at our,
I don't know if the city policy would insure.
Individual.
And I can speak to that.
and isn't that one of those acts of God?
Right, so it would be classified.
My
as that.
insurance covers that, so.
Yeah.
Then there was another piece of that as well, so we did list it as a part of damages that if a declaration of a state of emergency happened, because it happened and that includes that. However, we didn't get looking up for that to fall into that place, but we'll definitely look more into the insurance.
It's a good thought, Maxine. Has it never happened before?
At least not since I've been here. For this certificate.
The search affected almost all of one. I know that. Unfortunately. Okay, so we have a motion on the table and a step down. Are there any other questions or concerns? All right, all in favor of approving, please raise your hand. Thank you. Okay, the striping in front of the high school.
I'll just keep this brief, so I don't see you again. The front page of this is the outline of when the striping will occur. It's roughly, I believe, 8,900 or 8,390 linear feet. That's what the quote was based off of, and the proper striping can be seen in the aerial map. Let's do this one. Our first quote was from Metters, and that's one that's not included, and I may be able to go back and find the email itself, but the official quote has been changed, they're using online system. It was 22,000 around there. I believe they were looking at the full street, Park Street.
They were looking at all of Park Street.
Right. Second quote from Metters is 8,390, so essentially a dollar linear foot, for that area right there. The next quote is from Tinwell Traffic Solutions, they're a nationwide company. The county uses them as one of their bidders, so I reached out to them. And this is what they came up with at 14,250 cents. Then reach out to a third company. However, I believe they were Safety Traffic Solutions. Get the proper name on that. They do not do striping and stitching. They only do repair. To begin with all this, we got a complaint from, I believe, an SRO officer about dusk and that time frame when they're directing traffic, that some of the visibility is just gone there with no striping. And that people do struggle to maintain traffic safety rules much. Further on that, we did reach out to the county, as I was under the assumption they did their own striping, but they actually contracted out as well. So that's why we had to get private.
Anyone have any questions before we ask the motion? Nope. It begins. The part of, Guthrie Cemetery Road that was striped, and that's all in the, within city limits or not?
Yes, we made sure it only extended up to the city.
That's-
Any plans to install additional, streetlights in this area?
There would be, it's actually outside of city limits right now, the first one we're talking about with county. So this would affect that project, and so it would actually be real.
It's being done on the curve as you go up that cemetery. County's putting that in.
And one more thing we did look at, and this was just my eyesight, we didn't send it off to Aaron for this, but, there's minimal areas where there will be a little bit of seal, remediation. But this is not an area that will be redone. So we would be able to retain our investment.
Great.
So the road in that area is good, but we're not gonna be suddenly repaving in the next year to cover up what we're just paying for to have restriping.
Right, it would only be a couple of areas that needed, a little bit of crack sealing, but this is not an area that you recommended. Of course.
I'm going to give council a few minutes to just look it over because this has been your benefit for the time.
You said the 14 was the number to be matching what we want done. The 14,000 on the, well,
What I would recommend is the Metters at 8390. That's the second quote after they established the right calendar. Tidwell, though a great company, I do think that's a little out of what we would plan on right now. And we have worked with the Metters before. They did all the parking lot and like that.
Like if they include your services, you provide flyers along the tour meeting with the Walk County deputy or and champagne for them. Ensure even more safety around our school.
And Joe and I thought she was going to ask him to see if they can do them. If that's a problem. He's ready to go.
He's ready to go now. That was ready to go in the next couple of weeks. That's amazing.
then I make a motion that we make a move on this and go with Matter, take it over 390 and get it done.
Second. Thank you, thank you. Is there any other further discussion? Questions? All in favor, moving forward with matters. Please raise your hand. Thank you all for bearing with us. We did anticipate with that, but thought we'd get it to you since it was in. Appreciate you taking a look at it. That done. Go down to reports, Public Works, Brad Peter. Come on, Brad.
You look a little odd. You look just like our administrator, right?
It is my intention to bring Brad over here for our next work session. So council can meet informally. I know some of the councilmen have an opportunity to meet Brad. Currently, we are also working on getting his access and training for iWork. That way, you can have that formal submittal. And then on top of that, revising how we do public works reports. So there's gonna be a lot more standardized reports in your packets, but we will discuss them at length. That way, if anyone has any questions, they can refer to that and ask me. That'll include their full report schedule for date time each meeting. And stuff. Public works has been it's been a tough one right now. It's getting hot, obviously. We did lose one public works employee. He decided to resign. So we do have that out there right now to recruit another public works group. Brad is settled in pretty quickly. It doesn't seem like this is anything that he hasn't done before, managing this type of environment. The whole staff was excited to see him on a lawnmower. That was one of the things a lot of people afraid of. They were like, "You know, so around the but he's fit in quite well. And then right now, you're going to see a lot more facilities maintenance in the next couple of weeks than on, just because so we may have an opportunity to advance in some of those projects while we wait on things to grow.
Thank you. Our city clerk, Lynn.
I'm gonna start with the bank, statements. The general operating account, $601,761.19. The sewer account, $6,787.92. 2019 SPOS, 947,947,000. $947,972.35. The money market account, $1,466,267.03. The DDA account, $89,783.73. The new sewer money market account, $94,031.63. And the last two accounts, I don't know how the titles got changed. I need to call the bank and find out, but the second to the last is the 2025 SPOS account. That's $206,100,045.26. And then the money market account is $296,120.70.
Sewer money market, guys.
That's
Yeah. And then, we only had 2 citations in March. That was for Walton County. We had 3 pavilion rentals and we had 30 ball field rentals. And I've already got a coach that has, paid for fall.
Oh, wow.
And he has already booked 32 practices and paid up front. And from August to November.
Wow.
Wow.
There's
Dedicated.
the same age group, same group.
Yeah. Yep, wow. Very dedicated.
Those are the
coaches.
ball field.
Is that the one we had?
Yeah, right.
Let's make another one. You know, maybe another one, just it fits the one we got. Good enforcement.
I agree.
Testing out a
You
new,
look a lot like our administrator.
I'm testing out a report for code enforcement. It's on the very back page of my report.
Yeah.
As you go through, it just shows some of the last met, some of the citations, a little description of them. We are going to work on some nomenclature for description, because they may not be as descriptive, if you're not used to that code language. We're going to be working on some of that. Like I said, standard reports, we're going to work on making it a little bit easier to read. But as you see, the activity side, a lot of times send letters with notice violation, or it can mean, a complaint was not substantiated, but we do want to make contact with that individual. And a lot of these will actually be in my report when you do on that side.
Can I just say something about code enforcement? We had court this past week, and code enforcement continues to work diligently on some of the issues that have arisen in the city, and have been problems for many years, including with businesses on the main thoroughfares. And working together with our solicitors and our judges, a huge one was just taken care of at court this past week. And you've also seen, with the big cleanup that was done on 81. These are all things code enforcement continues to do, as well as going out into the neighborhoods, responding to citizens, responding to Joe's requests, and keeping this city as tidy as possible. So he's really doing a great job, and I was thrilled about that Wednesday one. It was a biggie. Yeah, kudos to Greg.
We'll start on the second page, which is the complaints since we don't have code enforcement. Pretty hefty complaint list this time, and I promise most of them were code related and not TC. The first one on there, street visibility, which we've talked about at length. The second one was at a park, removal of basketball hoop. So we did have a complaint that we removed the hoop. However, we had to do it for safety reasons. The space is sideways, the bracket on it is about to come off. We are working right now, so if I can see points to replace that hoop itself right now. And then in the CIP plan, we'll see what that looks like going forward for the full renovation of that area. Just kind of hitting the highlights here. We did get some complaints about unauthorized dwellings. Those have been very hard to substantiate. Our code enforcement officer is not a law enforcement officer, so he's very limited on what he can do to go on people's properties unless they volunteer some of that information. And it's covered. It's really hard to find out single family in some of these things. But if he makes contact and he can't substantiate it himself, he does send a letter putting it on notice that he will follow up. And he'll also follow up with the complainant. We have had one substantiated and give notice of violations to start the process. Then as we go through, last one that's not listed on yours that I just added here, we did get a safety related complaint about a tree at the library that was dropped in limbs. We had 2 companies come out so far. We're going to get a third for pricing, but they saw that the tree was dead and that it doesn't. So we are getting quotes on that as well. Then if you flip to the front page for the administrative reports. We have 2 open records requests, both of them have been fulfilled. 10 permits have been issued between signs, building, and fence permits or no permit systems. Just did some of the highlights. We are coming up with a training plan for planning and zoning committee still. I want to make sure that that's a going forward, a training at least every time they meet. Capital assets, you will see this at our next work session of things we recommend offloading, taking off our insurance and assetting them out to really boost our capital. Our new city website has been fully implemented and launched thanks to our city clerk. She did all the background work to get it there. A lot of great help from Councilwoman Maxine McClanahan. She pointed some things out to us that we can do a little bit better, and the rest of council as well. For personnel, we did hire a building and grounds manager that I'm sure everyone's aware of. Training certification, there's going to be a lot of that coming down the line. In the fall, we'll have some municipal finance training that GMA offers. We are going to work on getting our building and grounds manager GSWCC level 1 Bravo training, which is the red carpet soil erosion. That's going to save us a lot going forward when we can do our own inspections and then only use our third party to generate the export report. And then our city clerk, once again, completed her human resources training with Carl Estes too. So she has been very busy. Then if there's any other questions regarding the report itself. On that person.
Thank you, Joe.
Anytime.
Before I begin my report, I want to go ahead and say congratulations to Joe. He has been here for one full year as of this week. He stayed that. You only look like 7 or 8 years older than you. Exactly. I have given you all a copy of my mayor's report. There's just a couple of little highlights on and the information I want to get out to you. Joe will get you further information. We are in the process of working on the comprehensive plan update. You have to do that every 5 years. And we are working with the NEGRC, with Philip and Carol from there. They had the public hearing, as you probably saw on social media, for the kickoff of the update to let the citizens know what was going on. And there will be 4 other meetings throughout the process. We have a estimated timeline for things that Joe will share with you, as well as when different areas are coming up and they need to be updated. We will be talking with council about that. It's very important that you guys have the input on that. And then moving forward, we are working together with the county and every single city. We're working on that part together. We're not working with Monroe. Monroe's doing their own. They're paying additional to do their own. We're saving money by working together with everybody else, but we have individual meetings just for our city also. So we'll be able to do that. But as the process goes along, you will be updated along the way. So you all know what's happening and so that we have input from everybody. And we're even talking about doing a town hall here for the city of Walnut Grove in case anybody would like to come out. To doing it from NEGRC, we've already shared with them our Envision Walnut Grove results and report. And they're thrilled with that because they can take a lot of information from that. Because that's what our citizens were looking for. So it's actually a very nice process, very nice people we're working with, but we will keep you updated throughout to make sure you guys know what's going on and give you opportunities to also put your input in to make sure that everybody has a say in what's going on. Okay, and then it has to be reviewed. Once it's compiled, reviewed, it's a year-long process. Then it has to come to, we get a copy of it and we get to review it again and make any changes we need to, and then we have to approve it in the June 2027 meeting. But it's a guide, it's a map for us to follow for the future, the city of Walnut Grove. Okay, a lot of grants that we are going to be applying for. They're going to want to know if the plans that we're applying for grants for are in that comprehensive plan. So think big, think really big. Okay. Okay. So that's the comprehensive plan. At the meeting, there was a survey QR code, and we're going to get that on social media. And we're also going to put it on our webpage so that anybody can go there and do the survey from the city or all throughout the county. So that's that. What else do we have coming up? We've got a small cities conference coming up that a few of us are going to, and then we've got some people going to the convention. Graduation ceremony, we're all going to be invited to that. The date is on there, Tuesday, May 19th. It usually starts at 8 o'clock. So please put that on your calendar if you plan on attending. Look for an invitation from Shay Gibson at the high school and make sure you respond to her so that you can keep your seats on the floor for you. We've got the Georgia Cities Week coming up Monday through Saturday this week. Some of the big things that are happening that it would be great if the council could be at a city hall open house if you're interested, 10 to 2, right? On that Friday, or just stop in for a little. Then the also recycling day from 9 to 12 and the touch a truck. Joe and Sonia have gotten together some vehicles, fire truck and, you know, all the good stuff for that. And then America 250 celebration. The website is up. Shane Short has created that. It's very limited right now, but it's up there. Keep an eye out for updates and look at all the dates so you can start talking about it with people. Our big date is July 3rd. We're working with Walton County and the city of Jersey. We've got a concert. We've got a band and an opening band. We're gonna be doing some food trucks, family activities, and it's at the Grove Park from 7 to 9:30 on Friday, July 3rd. And there's a lot of other events during that whole week, lots of concerts, which is really nice.
How did you say?
For hours, 7 to 9:30. And you can see the name of the band that's gonna be coming with 2 bands. You can always check them out. And then the Walton Youth Program, Dessa Morris has instituted a competition between the cities for reading. And more information is going to be coming out through that. So we're going to be putting out some stuff of egging everybody on, trying to egging the other cities on, trying to get them to compete with us, and hopefully our citizens will rise to the occasion and give it a showing. But there'll be more information coming out about that. And that's basically it for me. I wanted to get a general idea of what was going on. Okay, so that's that. Now is our town hall. Does anybody have anything they want to say or come up, or?
Yes.
Mr. Mahmood, come on up.
Hi, good evening. Please, I don't know if you're aware, I've been denied my license again for no reason. I've been issued 4 tickets, which is $4,000. 3 tickets has been dismissed by the attorney, your attorney, after showing him the evidence on the law says about disposal, about cleanup. And everybody has confused between, I don't know if you are confused, I'm not saying that. They confused between residential and agriculture. I am agriculture. I'm allowed to have helpers in my property by law, by the states, and if everything you can put, I'm allowed to have that. And also, I don't have nobody living in my property, period. When I do my deer processing, I throw the carcass in the ground 6 feet and we cover it. That's what the states, and they came in and they inspect me. They didn't give me no ticket. They were praised me for my place was fine. They checked everything. I asked for notice. They said, only if you have tickets, we give you that. Since you don't have no ticket, no violation, you're fine. Keep doing what you're doing. I got 4 tickets. 3 of them have been dismissed, which I don't know if you received this memorandum, you know what I'm saying, for denial of a ticket for my license. And I have to reapply for a license. It took 3 months for them to tell me I'm denied. For what? For the same ticket they issue me. The same thing. I don't know if you're aware, I have a copy of this to let you see what's going on. And I've been told there's a lot of stuff, agriculture, something, it doesn't exist, it's being created. But I'm still farmer. Farmer go into different category. I follow every rule you told me. I respect everything. I didn't mislead you on anything. Okay? And I've been given this. That's not fair. I've been in this 17 years, me and my family, we never been old administration, never have any much problem, and my family feels safe and okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Man, it's chaos, it's a mess, especially when you give me a ticket and there's not a proof, they take it out, they throw them away. If I made a mistake, you give me $1,000 ticket. If you make a mistake, you should apply that liable for us. For every time, right? This year, I'm only operating 1.5 months of deer processing. That's it. That's not fair. Okay, just to let you know, I'm gonna file a complaint with the city attorney of Georgia, but they asked me first to come in front of the city council, take it from here, then I can file the complaint. I have 22 people signed for it to join me to this complaint. 22 residents of, because forget about distinguish this, but what you said is not what it applied, if in fact, what's going on. Okay, and I did ask the mayor, can I have, when I get those tickets, I ask her, can I talk to you? Can I have a legal way like you allow people to fix? If there is a problem, she said, no, go to the judge and give you time to do that. I'm not allowed to talk to her. I'm not allowed, whatever we gotta do. I have my land. I don't talk to nobody. We don't do anything illegal. We were safe. We're not safe anymore. Nobody's happy anymore. Okay, nobody. A lot of people, look at this. We used to be.
Mr. Mullin, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Okay, my.
That letter you received from the city that denied the business license, did it give you a proper avenue to go and appeal it?
Why would you give me this after 3 months and appeal it just to say no? What's to appeal for what? I'm gonna appeal it from base, everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. That's give your letter, send your letter, hire an attorney, do this, for what? I just wanna apply for a renewal. It takes 3 months to send me a denied.
Does it state a reason why? I haven't seen any of these documents.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why?
Yes, the reason why it's here.
So hold on.
Let me just finish it. The reason it's here is the same ticket I issue for fine. When I go in front of the judge, they took 3 tickets out after the district attorney. He looked at the zoning. I'm not residential, I am agriculture. He looked at the zoning, he looked at all that, and he looked at the sewage and everything. I show him picture, documents. The only thing I'm asking, if you have any document, something with evidence, not talk. Because the judge told me, don't listen to nobody, don't take promises, don't take something here. What's in the law books, that's what counts. And that's what I'm accounting for. None of it. They didn't take those $3,000. Those 3 tickets dismissed for nothing. If they have proof,
Okay, just,
Yes, ma'am.
we've already, yeah.
Mr. Mayor,
yes, ma'am.
we are your council in the city of Walnut Road. We do make the laws, but we don't enforce them as a council. We count on other people to do that. So my suggestion to you would be to follow any instructions you were given as far as what your options are.
Yes.
And that's your best course of action, because from the standpoint of us trying to figure out what's correct and what's not correct, that's not our job here.
I said the judge told me, if you pay this fine, go get your license, get your work. Here, just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. the judge
That's all what, you're telling us what the judge said.
Yes,
We were not there.
We were here.
Okay, so what we need to do is have you go through the proper channels.
make an appeal, I'm gonna make an appeal,
Thank you.
and it's the same process, but by the meantime, since January, we got 3 months to get an answer denied for this issue. And I'm gonna give you a copy of this, and people who ever made this, they gotta be careful when they roll down. Okay, that's. We can say nice words, we can, but the bottom line, what is it, it's being done.
So you received a ticket from us or from the county, because you said something about the district attorney.
Well, this year, it's a solicitor.
Solicitor. Okay, so not the district attorney.
In your words.
You have this one? Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
And work.
Anybody else who wants to speak? Yeah,
Hi,
hi, come on up and state your name. We know Mr. Muller.
I'm Diane.
Diane, okay.
I just want to make it a comment. Let you read that. I mean, sorry. There's a date that indicates in there December 9th. I just wanted to let you know, a situation occurred on December 9th. Come to find out after the fact, I knew, found out who these individuals were, but they came on my property unannounced. Well, let me read you what trespassing is, and then I'll get from there. Trespassing, it is unlawful intentional entry onto another person's property or land without permission, consent, or legal right. It is both a civil wrong that can lead to lawsuits and a criminal offense that can result in fines and jail time, particularly when ignoring signs or refusing to leave. I had asked these individuals several times. They came on property. I said, he's not here, which is my husband. They drove on through my property, my personal property, through my driveway, through my gate, which is no trespassing. They got out of their truck. I said, he's not here. Do you have his number? No, we don't have his number. Let me call my husband. He expected anybody. No, sorry. Still bothered by the situation.
Come to find out they are employees of the city of Walnut Grove. I guess one's an inspector. Not sure who the other individual, what their total role is. I yelled at them, telling them they need to leave, they're trespassing. They continue to walk to the building. I said, you need to leave, you're trespassing. Went around the building, walked my property. I'm yelling from my house. Then I decided to go a little bit further, that you're trespassing. They approached me, I think about maybe from here to you. I said, you need to leave, you're trespassing. They use intimidation, tried to ask me questions. Are you part of this? I said, no, I'm not part of this. Are you his wife? I was like, you need to leave. So I didn't answer. I said, you need to leave. Finally, the tall gentleman said, ma'am, are you saying you need to leave? I need to leave. And I'm like, yes, you're trespassing. You need to leave. Sorry, I didn't hear that. I said, yes, you did. You just chose to. Finally, they got in the truck and left. During that time, when I did call my husband, are you expecting anybody? No. So my husband did call 911 because he was afraid. We didn't know who this was. Come to find out they are, one's an inspector. They didn't identify themselves. They didn't come through my drive, beat the horn, knock on my house door, nothing. Came in, watched, did their own thing like they owned the property. Just letting you know what happened. Thank you.
My your full name in your address.
Sure. It's Diana and 1910 Highway 138. 17 Georgia 30012.
Thank you.
We're gonna go on to the council comments. Linda, would you like to start out? No, I don't.
Without no have anything.
That's all right.
How's the Braves doing? Oh, they're knocking it out of the park. My mom finally came to life. Strasburg's doing good too.
Okay. I didn't you know that.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a banner week. Congratulations to Mayor and Council on our recognition with one Bolton County Impact Awards this Monday. So that was fantastic. And let's keep up the good work and the service. I love it that we are able to not only serve in this capacity, but also serve in other areas of our community. Partnering with our schools is a big one. I never love that.
Thank you. That was a nice night.
I was very honored to get that award. That was really cool. We've got other people that were receiving that award that evening. It was an honor to be in the same category as a lot of those individuals. We had a STEM meeting today at Walnut Grove Elementary. They love partnering with local people, but also if there's anything that the kids can help with, they would love to get the kids involved in the community too. So if there's something that somebody knows of in the community, please reach out to the school. I know that there was one partner there today. It was actually, I believe, the Walton Gardeners maybe. Yeah. They may be doing some professional planning, teaching at school and even the school building for everything. So I thought that was fantastic. It really is. I love to see the community pulling together and doing cool stuff. That's all I got.
Maxine. Did time for anything you said, but
I was just getting ready to say, this is my busy time of the year on council. As you all know, hopefully, we all have varied talents and specialties, and since finances is kind of my baby, this is the time of year that I get busier and dig in a little bit more. So this is when I put in the 20 to 30 hours a week. So I've been working on that, and so far running pretty well.
Good. Glad to hear it. Anything else from anybody? I don't think we have any executive session tonight, right? Okay, then I will ask if there is a motion to adjourn. So moved. Is there a second? Second.
And all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Elizabeth. Then do you have the resolution and everything to get signed? All good? Do we need to sign that?
Minutes too.
And Jay.